I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We welcome Zarah to the show. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hey, it's my pleasure to be here. I'm Zarah or Zarah. Doesn't really matter how you want to pronounce it. I go by whatever. I am a storyteller, corvid, bird, VTuber. Only really been doing this for a couple years now.
Mm-hmm.
I've been active and creating things on the internet for an awfully long time.
Oh, fine. So you've been around a while, doing different things.
Mhm.
What first of all, what brought you to doing the VTube thing?
I didn't really know what VTubing was until a friend of mine started doing it back in 2020-ish. And through him, I kind of learned a little bit more about it, and I still didn't really pick it up until much later. But I wanted something that was kind of my own brand, something that I wasn't using images. Like, I was using a serve-bot from Mega Man Legends as an avatar for a long time.
Well,
But then I kind of realized that maybe I should use something that's not copyrighted.
that's probably right. Change the color a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've always liked birds and stuff like that, so I approached an artist friend of mine and said, design me a character, and here we are.
So what's the storyteller part? Are you a storyteller by nature?
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate.
Well,
I've always just loved telling stories. I've always been writing. I've been writing fan fiction. I started writing fan fiction, I should say, when I was 12 years old, I think. So
cool.
it's
Yeah.
I got a long track record.
Well, I congratulate you for that, because I'm one of those folks that has stories bouncing around in my head, but I never actually get it down on paper or on the computer or anything. And now I hit birthday number 60, and I'm like, still nothing on the paper, Eric.
It can be a bit of a curse as well. I spend a lot of time writing down ideas and partial thoughts and never really filling them out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I come up with great ideas in my head, but the actual doing it is something a little different.
That is the hard part. Yeah.
So my family had a couple of really good storytellers. My grandfather was one who could really spin a tale. Um, uh, and one of my great aunts, she had moved out of my hometown, and was writing from Arizona to our hometown paper of, and it was being published, of stories from her childhood that never happened.
That's pretty good.
And it was 70 years before, so no one knew other than my granddad. It was her brother who just got so mad every time we saw him. We did not have a maple tree. We didn't have a horse and buggy.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of, I think I definitely get some of that from my family too. A lot of my dad's family is still lives in Newfoundland. I am Canadian.
Yes.
And the stories that those people will tell you about all kinds of things. They've got ghost stories, they've got personal stories, everything under the sun. They'll go for hours if you let them.
I actually found out that a predecessor of mine, an ancestor of mine, was a Newfoundland. Was it? He was from the Newfoundland Brigade that was in the War of 1812.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he ended up, I think, being the oldest still living person on that side of the war. He lived to
Oh,
106.
oh, geez.
I said, well, there's your stubborn newfie for you. But
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah, and his name was Levesque, so you can't get much more uh, Canadian than that.
Yeah,
I wish I would have
yeah.
actually learned French in high school. I could have known what was going on. But yeah, the storytelling, if you can have it go down generation to generation, there always seems to be one who can spin the tale a little bit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And now that I'm a grandfather, I've got to I've got to pep up the tales for the kids because they're smarter these days. I gotta
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I gotta pep it up a little bit. Add I don't know, a Pokemon to it or something.
I
So
don't know. There's something to be said about, a story just delivered in the right way.
oh yeah,
Whether it's, a joke, you gotta make sure that punchline is just right.
absolutely. And you have to have it if it's a fictional thing, and most of the stories are.
Mhm.
You have to have some believability to it. That it
That's true.
Yeah, there has to be some you can tie it to something, and they'll say, okay, well that happened, so this is
Yeah.
probably true too. Yeah, yeah. We had um a the radio station I worked for a while. They played a game on the air where they took three of us, and we would go and we would read it was a game that I don't remember, a board game, and we took three callers, and three of us gave answers to a question. Two of us were telling stories, lying about it, and the other person was telling the truth. I always wanted to be
Well, that
one.
sounds fun.
I wanted to be the one that did not have the truth,
Yeah, of course.
and I wanted to make everybody lose. So one of the ones near the end was, where did the word cooties come from? And two of the three callers chose my answer, which was Shakespeare.
That sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah, I read from one of Shakespeare's plays, for she has the cooties, and I just read it straight out, and two out of three people chose me. I was so happy with that, and it's the
It's
delivery
always
too.
nice.
Yes. So you were doing content creation a long time ago. What type of
Mhm.
content creation was it? Was it pretty much everything under the sun?
Yeah, a little bit. My Probably my earliest days. I mean, like I said, I wrote fan fiction for a couple years when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I started just writing in general, just my own kind of. I started a novel manuscript when I was in high school. Never did finish it.
Oh,
Um, I went to school, and when I was in high school, there was another guy in my class who was actually a published author.
oh,
He did actually write a novel and get it published, and I think he has a couple sequels out as
oh.
well.
That,
So
that,
that was a good it kind of
yeah,
incentive to go.
yeah.
Um,
Eh,
but yeah, I've bounced all over the place. I've tried doing like map editing in real-time strategy games
Mm.
from 20 years ago. That was one of my first online communities.
Oh, cool.
I did some comic work with Gary's Mod back then.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
had my own webcomic for a good long while in the 2010s.
Oh, boy. So you were hitting all of the bases.
I've been all over the place. And then I started doing Let's Plays after that
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then that kind of transitioned into streaming. And now I'm currently transitioning a little back to YouTube with video essays. So
Yeah.
it's ongoing.
It's gone full circle almost.
Pretty much,
Uh,
yeah.
would you rather at this point have a live stream or be able to work on something and edit it?
That's really the thing that I've been kind of mulling over in my head for a long time, the last year or so.
Mm-hmm.
I do like streaming. I enjoy having the live aspect to it,
Yeah.
but I do find it's very it's kind of the grind of it. Like there's always you always have to be looking ahead at the next thing that you're streaming. You don't really get a lot of time to kind of dwell on something and kind of sit with it for a long time.
Yeah.
Whereas with the video that I published this fall, that was 8 months that I spent working on just that video, editing, writing, filming, everything. And it got a really positive response on YouTube, and I'm very, very happy with it.
Yeah. So which video is that? So we can point people that direction.
It is it is called A Brief History of Real-Time Strategy.
Wow.
It is on not my main YouTube channel, but my second YouTube channel, Zarah's Notebook.
Yeah.
The only video there right now, but I've got more in the works.
Yeah, we'll have that link up in the descriptions, so folks can check that directly out when after the interview here. But when you get something like that put together, and it takes such a long time to really get it right in that instance, you've gathered your material, you've put it out the way you want to. I imagine you went over a few things 8 or 9 times or more. I did not quite exactly the way I wanted to put it. And then you get that type of response, positive response, and people, coming back and watching it again. How does that hit you?
I mean, I fully expected it to get like maybe 100, 200 views if I was lucky.
Mm-hmm.
And I think currently it's sitting at 2,700. So it feels pretty good. I feel very vindicated in the work that I put forth. And yeah, I'm over the moon with how positive it was. Even all the YouTube comments and everything on it have all been very positive and fairly just good, heartwarming.
Good.
It's nice.
That's excellent. Yeah, it's almost justifying it to do something like that and have a positive response, because I'm sure after about 5 months you're looking at this. I've been doing this for 5 months.
I went through so many periods staring at it in my editing software, just thinking like, is this anything? Is this worth this effort? Like, why am I doing this?
Exactly. Exactly.
It was bad.
But you get to the point where I got this far. I want to keep doing, and to do it and not just, say, okay, I'm 75% done, I'm just going to wrap it up. To continue to try to keep it at the quality you want through the whole thing, that takes some discipline to not just wrap it up and say, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, I had a vision for what I wanted it to be very early on, and that helped more than anything.
Yeah.
It just, I had a very clear image in my mind of what I wanted to end up with, and I just kept working until I got to that point. There were some difficult sections that, I didn't want to edit those parts, and I kind of procrastinated a little more than I should have, but it all came together in the end.
Yeah. A long form program such as that, I enjoyed doing that in radio, and I guess I'm doing it now with these interviews, since they are recorded and edited a little bit before we go on. But to do something as detailed as what you did, people don't realize that everything you have to put together for it. You want to make sure that all of your details are correct, for one thing. That if you use, especially with video, because I haven't done a whole lot of that with real video, you got to make sure that you have all your T's crossed and I's dotted to make sure that somebody doesn't come in and rip to shreds after you're done. And you also have to record it correctly in the way that you want to present it. There's a whole lot of things going into it, and it's not just, hey, let's put on a show.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I didn't even know how much it entailed until I kind of got into it.
Yeah.
I wrote most of the script first. I didn't quite finalize it, but I had most of the script written, and then I went ahead and I started. There are sections that I've filmed with little paper cutouts
Mm-hmm.
that I made all of them. There was, I think, like 34 or 36 of them that were all little puppet versions of me glued to a popsicle stick. And I filmed the entire video with a camera with all of these little puppets moving around a little paper stage and everything.
Perfect.
But then once that was done, I moved on to the editing and I realized how much more I needed. Like there was so many videos that I wanted to, like videos and pictures and sound effects and music. And it was just all of these materials that I suddenly needed to start compiling and organizing.
Yeah.
And I had no idea it was going to be that much work, but
and not only that, but
I enjoy the editing. So
yeah, and that with the audio itself can take a while just to make sure that the music comes in at the right spot, doesn't get too big, doesn't get to the point where you shouldn't even have music there at all. You can't hear it.
yeah,
It it can be really, if you're a purist, it can take you a long time. But when you put that much effort into it, you really do want to have that come out shining, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, word of warning, if anybody out there wants to do something like this, please process your audio before you start editing. Because I didn't do that. I had the thought that I would do it, but I got too excited about editing and just went to town.
Yeah.
And realized afterward that I had recorded like an hour and a half of me talking, that the volume levels were not all equalized. And my voice kind of moved all over the place. And I spent so long just equalizing audio in that video.
Oh, that I hate that stuff.
It was bad.
Yeah, and while there is ways to do it, it's going to take you forever to do. If you yeah, it's just gonna take a long time if you don't do it on the fly and kind of try to match up the levels as you go. But if you've already recorded it and now you don't want to cut it up, but you have to enhance some and take some down a peg. Ooh.
Well, I've got a very quiet voice
Yeah.
in real life, so I tend to have to boost the gain on the audio in order to get it to a level that I'm satisfied with. But then every time that I'm talking, I talk bigger, I'm peaking the audio, and so I've got to kind of cut that down. And it was so much just little things I had to do throughout the whole audio track that I realized after the fact I really didn't have to do that. There were so many tools at my disposal that would do all that stuff automatically.
Yes. Yeah. I was talking before we started up that Audacity, which is the program I use for the audio. I don't know about 95% of it, even though I've been using it for 2 years now. I'm sure there's ways to do this easier, but I found a way that works.
I don't really know much about how Audacity works.
Yeah, there's
either.
There's some things there I look at like I don't even know what that word means.
I do have one friend who actually went to school for audio engineering, so maybe one day I should actually talk to him and say like, hey, teach me something about this.
Hey, my hat's off to the dial spinners and who over the years make radio people sound much better than they should out there, because some of those boards we used, beauties, big old giant old tube-like boards. They're just crazy. And nowadays you can probably put that entire board on a 5x5 chip, and then you're done. with
it's just a computer screen you got now.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah, and of course the computer screen will never glitch.
Oh, of course not.
Never glitch right in the middle of your program. I once lost.
No.
I had an interview with a wrestler, Dusty Rhodes, He had
Oh,
a
I know him.
Yeah, of course he's one of the all-time greats. He had a
Yeah.
book out. I did an entire 25-minute interview with him, and he even did a catchphrase for me, which I was like, yeah, I get that. He's on my show.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And the computer ate the interview before I could air it.
Oh no.
I'm like,
Oh, that's tragic.
yeah. Now, if I had recorded it on a reel like
Hmm.
we did in the 80s and early 90s, maybe part of it had gotten glitched a little bit and I could edit around it. But no, it
No.
was completely
Yeah.
gone. Um,
Oh,
thank
that's too bad.
Well, thankfully he was a real gentleman about it and came on live, which
Oh, really?
I basically
That's
just
good.
called his cell phone and said, sir, and he gave me 20 minutes, which is pretty amazing.
Hmm.
So my hat's off to the Rhodes family for crying out loud.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
yeah, but it's that type of thing. With the old audio tapes, you could sometimes save it a little bit when that happens, but
Yeah.
um, you can also get with the old audio tapes tape stretching, which you can't save. Just roll all the way through it. I once had a Sunday morning show, a religious show that was all singing, and it
Hmm.
was a stretched tape all the way through.
No.
But they paid for it, so here we go.
Yeah.
These long notes. They come all-
Even longer now.
yeah, even longer. So with that, there's also a difference with the live streaming in that you don't have a
Mm,
safety net with the live streams for the most
that is
part.
true.
Um, do you find yourself with that a little bit more nervous with it? I mean, you've been doing it for so many years. I can't imagine you're too nervous. But do you have to watch what you're saying on those when you do the live stream?
Surprisingly, no.
Hmm.
I'm I don't get offended very easily,
Yeah.
but I don't speak like that. Like I hardly ever swear in when I'm talking to people
Yeah.
and just anything like that. So it just doesn't really enter my vocabulary that much, and I've never really had any slip ups like that. It's the only issues that I find with live streaming that I've had is the technical issues that if
Yes.
if something goes wrong in the middle of a stream, you either fix it or the stream's over.
Yes. Yes. Pardon me, folks. My microphone is on fire.
Oh, I had a whole probably 20-minute segment on a stream last year where my microphone was muted.
Oh, yeah.
Had no idea, went on and on and on, and then realized, oops. Well, so much for that.
Yes. The VOD for that one isn't going to be very tough to edit. Nothing's coming out of that
I
one.
mean, I took the VOD as is and threw it up on YouTube and put in there, hey, this is what happened.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. I mean, that's what happens. That's part of the realism
Yeah.
of it. That's part of a lot of people when they're live, and they haven't been doing it for a long time. They get nervous that they're going to do something wrong on there, but a lot of times what they're going to do wrong isn't going to be that bad to start with, and it also gives you it gives the audience an idea that you are actually a human being talking into the microphone. uh,
Yeah, for sure.
and we're going to need that in the future because there's a certain two letters that are catching up to us, and unfortunately, they'll be perfect, and people will be able to spend virtually nothing on them. Um,
Yeah, true
and,
enough.
and we need to watch out. I want to talk about you mentioned your voice being sometimes tough to get levels on. I don't hear that. I hear what you're saying perfectly normally. It's just got that what's the best way to put this? Like a cushion effect on it. Um at,
That
at the
I
top
mean, that could
range.
just be I've doing this long enough. I've kind of learned where I want my microphone to be,
Yeah.
and so I put my microphone very close to my mouth. It's only maybe 3 inches away,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is basically kind of where you want it to be. But
Yeah. I
other than
was
that, there's no post processing on it.
yeah, I just have the microphone. I carry it. I don't use it on a stand. I hate mic stands. I would like to move around when I'm talking, so I bring the microphone with me, and if I cough, I can put the microphone over here, and I can bring it back,
Hmm.
and not have to worry
That's
about
that's
squeaking.
that's a good idea, and I do kind of envy that. But
Yeah.
when you're streaming, you kind of
Oh yeah,
you
you're
need your
stuck.
hands open for other things, so
Yeah,
the mic stand is a little necessary.
you're absolutely stuck as far as that goes. But really, the your voice has you can hear everything perfectly, and there's no straining to hear the voice whatsoever. Um, and it has its own type of projection, which is very tough to describe. Um, so I
Thank
can
you.
yeah I can really imagine people being able to listen to you for a very long time with that, and um, I have no doubt that has been something that people have come back for over the years is that instrument of yours.
I appreciate that. I don't really get a lot of comments on my voice, so it's kind of nice to hear. I actually, when I first started doing this and I was editing Let's Plays on YouTube,
Hmm.
it was really hard to get used to the sound of my voice, but
Yes.
I just kept doing it, and nowadays it's like nothing. I can listen to myself. I mean, I listened to myself talk for about 2 hours straight and edited it all into
Yeah,
a
that's
whole video. So
that'll give you nightmares.
it's no problem.
And my
The
voice again.
the only thing the only problem that I found with this video essay is I started recognizing my patterns of speech. It's not it's not my voice itself that bothers me, but I noticed the way that I keep talking, and it just started to drive me crazy after a while.
Yeah, yeah, especially when you don't realize you're doing it in the recording, but you hear it all the time afterwards. Like there, I did it again. There, I did it again. There, and then
It was
when you do the live stuff,
it
you
was
start hearing it.
consistently,
Yeah,
yeah, it was consistently that, like I said, my audio was peaking whenever I started sentences because I
yeah,
would start big and then kind of get quieter and more rambly as the sentence went on, and
right.
everything got quieter and evened out. And so it was a little frustrating to deal with that, and I kept kind of pounding it into my head like, don't talk like that, don't talk like that. But I never notice it in casual speech.
It's just something that gets stuck in your head after a while. It's like it's like if you take a drink out of a cup one time and you accidentally get shocked, like I'm not going back to that cup again, but you keep reaching for it and you're zapping yourself every time.
Yeah, of course.
Pavlovian responses. Um, but really, I think that if you did those projects, you say you got more in the works, or have you started working on those projects?
Um, I have more in the works. I've started working on. There is a video I'm actively working on. The script is almost done.
Hmm.
I've got all of the game footage that I have done, and I'll be reusing a lot of the puppets I made for the first video, so I don't need to quite make as many of those.
Yes.
But I do have also about 6 or 7 scripts in various forms of completion. Some are like a paragraph, and others are a few pages. So there's a lot on the way.
You're one of those creative people that just isn't going to stop creating.
I have to. There's something in me that I just need to get out. Like I said, I'm a storyteller. I need to get something out there and show people and have them react to it.
Mm.
I've often wondered about this because there's a part of me that wants to be, not necessarily want to be famous. It feels like if I say I want to be famous, it feels shallow and kind of vain.
Yeah,
But I want to be known for something.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, there's sometimes famous ain't what you really want when it comes down to it.
Hmm.
You can be famous for something that's not good, um, but you can be known for doing something in which you're known by the right people for doing something. Your audience likes it. It gets spread out a little bit. That's nice, you know. Um,
Yeah.
and you, there is a big difference there. To be known in your field means a lot of a difference. To be known just overall for doing something is a little different too. Um, but
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely understand what you're saying there as far as that goes. Um, so have you ever thought about, since you have the storytelling background and the story writing background, and you're doing some gaming stuff, of
Mm.
putting together your own game with it, or at least doing the story for a game?
It's definitely crossed my mind. I've done a little bit of self-taught courses with the game engine Unity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did a little bit to start with a different engine called Godot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I've kind of dabbled a little bit in that, and I think if I didn't have quite so many other things going on in my life, I would probably focus more on that because I do really enjoy programming
Yeah.
and all that side of it as well. But
Yeah.
I kind of realized at some point I just don't have the time to focus on this, so
You don't need to
I gotta
sleep.
give that one up.
Why would you need to sleep now? You can do that later, dude.
If believe me, I've thought many times if I didn't have to sleep, there are so many more things I could do.
Well, I'm glad you got this opportunity to do so. I mean, with the internet expanding, kind of as you started working into it, and more and more types of things you can show your talents in your creativity, you've kind of grown with it in your repertoire.
Yeah, like I said, I've been on the internet a long time. I've kind of grown into the person I am seeing the internet evolve over the years, long before social media.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
it's informed a lot of those creative choices along the way.
Yeah. Positive mostly.
Mostly positive, I would say. I've learned a lot about myself
Mm.
over the years with, the things I make. I would say a lot of my work I think is kind of derivative of other people's in a way.
Uh,
Um, Maybe more directly than indirectly, but the kind of mantra that I live by these days is I just want to create things that I would enjoy.
mhm.
Like if I'm making a video, I want to make a video that I would enjoy watching.
Right. Right. Yeah. And does it all? Are these all things that come from you? The seed comes from you. The idea comes from you. That they don't come from somebody else and say, "Hey, you should try a video on this particular type of game."
Generally, yes.
Mm.
The one that I have released so far is entirely my own doing. I
Mhm.
It just started as it started as a very different concept, but evolved into what it was
Mhm.
as I was writing it.
Yeah.
But everything was all completely pulled out of my mind. There was definitely the influence of like the paper puppets and stuff came from another YouTuber,
Right. Right.
but doing it in my way
Yeah.
is entirely, I did all the work for that stuff. So
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And so, with all these skills that you've developed, if somebody else came to you with an idea and tossed a bit of money on the table, would you go for it?
I think it's potentially doable.
I'm not saying
I
that, but
do
I
work.
don't have no money. So,
No, I for sure.
yeah.
But I mean, I do work a full-time job outside of this whole life.
Yeah.
And I really wish that I didn't so that I could focus that much more on it.
Yeah.
But things haven't really worked out that way. And so I gotta make do with what I can do. And so it remains a hobby for the time being. But should that become open to change, I will be glad to take it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's you get into something like this, sort of creative field, and I was very blessed to have been able to be in the field that I wanted for so many years. Since I was 12, I wanted to be in radio, and I was lucky enough to have that opportunity very early. Um, that you are able to do something that you enjoy and still get paid for it. But if you don't have that opportunity, you still got to pay a bill now again. or
Very true.
they start taking things away.
Yeah.
And you don't want that to happen very often. Um, so you have to plan it out. Does it get frustrated sometimes? And I know we talked about a little bit about having the time to do these things, but I can see you going on a project and working on it, and then an idea for another project comes up in the middle of it, and you're like, "Oh, I'd really like to work on that project, but I've still got so much to do on this project." Throw it on the pile, type of deal.
Yep. No, that is the never-ending struggle of the creative. It's I there's one script that I would really, really, really love to make that video, and I have a very clear idea of it, but it's one of those things that I need to be I need to be kind of prepared to make that video.
Hmm.
I want to present it well and do a good job on it. And I don't want to cut corners on that one. Like that one is kind of my magnum opus at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah,
So I really but it's also the one that I'm most excited about.
yeah.
So I have to stop myself from going back to that script and working it, reworking it
Yeah.
while I'm in the middle of doing 10 other things.
It's tough being so talented. Not that I would know anything
Truly,
about
yeah.
that, but
Humble
I
too.
I don't know anything about that, believe me. But I've heard other people say it. Um, it's very interesting to hear from your perspective how this works, because I just get this idea that you were born at the right time for this. Um, and as the VTubing and the creative abilities continue in this field, and it's going to just get more and more into it.
Mhm.
I really have the idea that you'll be able to adapt and continue to grow your own creativity in it. Um, do you have that type of idea that you're looking forward to the next big thing?
I'm it that's a tough one because I always seem to be late for trends.
Mm,
Especially like if there's a new social media or something like that,
hmm.
I should be, on the cutting edge of it. I should be right there on the ground floor getting involved, and it just never seems to happen. It's always years later when it's already popular and I try to get in there, and it just, I don't know, it doesn't really work that way.
Yeah, I mean sometimes it does. You let them work out the bugs. As if I put
That is true.
Yeah, you put that on the computer now, and it's just gonna show the blue screen of death. But give it a little time to work it out, and it'll work fine. But then
I mean,
you get to take it and make it
it,
your own, though. In the end.
true. Plus, all that being said, there is something about kind of waiting and studying. Like to make my video essay, I've watched a lot of video essays on YouTube. I
Hmm.
know kind of how, again, I know how I can make an entertaining video for myself,
Hmm.
but I also kind of, I wanted it to be longer than an hour because I know that plays well with the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
It,
I
it,
think that probably helped
yeah,
serve myself a little better in that regard.
yeah, yeah. I don't know anything about the algorithm. I just, I hear that word, and my brain reverts back to calculus in high school, and I get a really bad headache. And I don't.
God bless you.
Yeah. And somebody says,
We need more people like you.
yes. I hear somebody say, solve for f of x, and I take a swing at him. No, I'm
Yeah.
not doing that. I've already served.
Yeah, exactly.
I already did my duty as far as that goes. So you've always got something with so many projects. You've always got something coming up, don't you?
More or less. I don't know if, I mean, a lot of them probably never really see the light of day.
Yeah.
But there's always something going on in my head. I play a lot of tabletop games as well,
Mm.
Dungeons and Dragons, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I've probably got 3 or 4 campaigns in the back of my mind loaded and ready to go.
Well,
should I have the time to actually run one?
I mean, you're the storyteller. You should be able to come up with a bunch of that stuff.
Oh, it's like I said, it's always there. It's
Yeah.
always kind of building, and I've got all kinds of documents, and I just write random notes down all the time.
Were you around when they had the old Avalon Hill games out, tabletop?
The name is familiar, but I don't know much about them.
Now they were games that were coming in boxes that kind of resembled big books, but there were so many pieces to these games. A lot of them were war type games, but you had to take out all. By the time you got it all set up, you were going to go to bed. I mean, there's a lot of creativity to it and probably a lot of realism, but after a while, it's like, oh, it's too much stuff. I just wondered if you got caught up in that in the past.
Not. It's funny because I enjoy the board game scene quite a bit as well, but those kind of super complicated board games are the ones I love the most.
Yeah, really? So you could sit there and do like Panzer Division and put everything out on the board, and you have to use the entire basement to do it. And make sure no cats come nearby for the next 5 years.
I love any kind of, especially like grand strategy games with a lot of moving parts and stuff like that. I love all that kind of stuff.
Oh well, you'd have loved.
It's so hard to find the people and the time to play stuff like that.
That's the thing. And I would have thought that a lot of those games would have transported over to the computer because you wouldn't have to set it up so much. But I really don't see a lot of them.
It's interesting. There's a game that I play relatively often called Tabletop Simulator. That there is a enormous modding community that has ported in pretty much any board game you want and can think of.
Excellent.
And you can play it within that framework. So really you just need to have everyone have a copy of Tabletop Sim, and you can pretty much do anything.
Yeah, that's excellent. Because there were so many games back then that and I grew up in the 70s, so there were lots of board games. And some of them were fly-by-night type things that you probably wouldn't play but once and set aside anyway. But other games, like Sorry or something like that, is a game you'd pick up and have your little sister run away yelling that you've been picking on her when she's the only person you could get. Not that it happened to me a million times.
No, of course.
Yes, but it's those types of games, and we're seeing games like an Uno, where people will get on and play against each other all around the world and just be totally frustrated with each other. They can do that now with these games and not have to sit around the table, drive 30 miles to get to the board game. They can just turn on their computer.
For all the terrible things that the internet and social media are responsible for, I will say the internet and my access to it has been a blessing, because like the best friends that I've ever had in my life are people that I've met online, and some of whom I've never met in person.
Yeah, and probably never will. I mean, just they're on the other side of the planet. This is, but it's made the Earth small and big at the same time, because it's so easy to talk to somebody now in Singapore for me now, but it's also expanded my world because I can talk to more people.
Yeah, it's kind of a magical thing.
Yeah, if we'd had this back in 1985, I have no idea what we do, because we wouldn't have the computers to run it. But it certainly would have been better than trying to deal with Ma Bell with a long distance phone call. It would have sounded terrible.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But so, what is have you got something in the pipeline that's about ready to drop?
Not anytime soon. I would say I'm aiming for the next few months.
Mm-hmm.
Probably early 2026 is when I'd like to have this video done.
Okay.
But depends a lot on my work schedule and how much time I have to actually work on it.
Stupid life getting in the way all the time.
Oh, it's terrible. But I do have that in mind.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how much time I'll have for streaming on top of that. I don't really like splitting my attention on both directions.
Right.
It can be a little bit difficult to focus on one or the other.
Right.
But occasionally I do still throw a stream up on Twitch every now and then as well.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have all of the links we've been able to find for you on the description for the video. Zarah, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with someone who's got so many different talents that we're now able to see and enjoy with this particular medium, whether it's the live streaming or whether it's the documentary type things you're doing or everything else that you've been able to do. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.